We are live. Straight politicking. Alex Alonso and Munchie B the mayor. And we are here to bring you guys a banger. And Munchie B, I wanted to start off with a couple of fact checks from last week. I double checked a couple things that I said. The Mexico and Barcelona soccer match in 2006 was the largest event in sports, the Coliseum history. Last week, I think I said El Salvador, but it was Mexico versus Barcelona. That was 93,000 people. That was the largest ever sport event in the Coliseum. But I did some more digging, and the largest event was Billy Graham, who's I don't know, I'm not a big fan of these
Country?
religious speakers.
Okay. Yeah, Billy Graham sound like a country dude.
It says here that Billy Graham had 130,000 people in the Coliseum in 1963.
What's his religion?
He's a Christian, but I think all these guys are scammers. They're just scammers. And then they also had, in 2008, which is 2 years after that Mexico game, the Dodgers and the Red Sox played an exhibition game, and they're saying they had over 100,000 in 2008. Now, that's a big deal for the Dodgers and the Red Sox to be playing a baseball game together.
I wouldn't even think that's a big deal, Dodgers and Red Sox.
It is a huge deal back then because the Dodgers are the National League. It's different now, but the Dodgers are National League. The Red Sox are American League, and back then, American League and National League did not play each other during the season. They added that in recent years, maybe in the last decade or two. So the only way the Dodgers and the Red Sox would ever play each other would be the World Series, because the World Series is the best American League team versus the best National League team. It still is that way. But throughout the season, National League teams did not play American League teams.
Okay, see, I don't know the dynamics of baseball like that, so I wouldn't think that's because the Red Sox, they got a large market.
Hell yeah.
Okay,
They do. So I guess in 2008, which is almost 20 years ago, that was a big deal. But now it's called interleague play, and every team plays maybe 30 games of teams in the other league. I was against it when I first saw it. I was like, wow, nobody's going to say anything about this. We're going to see American League teams playing the National League teams during the regular season. That was crazy, but now it is what it is.
it's the norm now.
It's the norm now, But so that was a big game in 2008, 115. But yeah, man. And then also the USC Notre Dame rivalry started in 1926. Last week I said probably this goes back to the 30s or 40s, but it's 1926. So next year, that's going to be the 100th year anniversary of this rivalry.
That's gonna be a big game.
That's going to be a huge game, 2026.
I'm pretty sure they paying attention to it, like you just pointed out.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to, I'll probably go to that game. I hope it's here in LA. I hope it's not in Indiana. But yeah. Also, I think that I said Kid Frost was signed to Eazy-E, which is true, but he wasn't signed to him during his debut album. So he eventually went to Eazy-E after his debut album.
So who he kick it off with?
He kicked it off with some other
Independent label.
I think they might have been independent, but they were I think it was a Jewish guy. And then also I said that Sharice Mills deleted all of fake Canon Tremaine Williams videos. To be completely accurate, she didn't delete them. She just made them private. So at any time, if she wants to, she can turn them back on. But they're already old. They're probably not even getting no motion. But she privated them. I don't know if that makes any difference.
I mean, to a content creator, but not to the viewers and the listeners. They don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So, and then one more thing. The rapper from Stockton, California, who was believed to have been the target of that mass shooting last week, he is Filipino.
Full blown?
I think so, full blown, because I was just saying Asian. I didn't. Once I was reading on him, and I just wanted to I'm sure people appreciate Filipino people. They appreciate their culture. They want to be recognized. It's still Asian, though. It's still Asian. In fact, the largest population of Filipino people outside of the Philippines is in Los Angeles. They got a huge population here. And yeah, that's about it on the fact checks. What you got going, man?
Getting ready come March, the first stop, March 7th. They putting together the Ice Water Tour. I'm going to be participating in different states. For those that don't know, Ice Water, that's the movement.
Slim 400?
Slim 400 kicked off. Him and his manager / partner, Mud Dollars. So I'm saying that the flyer on my Instagram with the dates, you know what I'm saying?
So you're going to be traveling then?
Yep, I'm getting it in, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Long live my bro.
So you're gonna have new music, old music. What you're gonna perform, right?
Yeah, I'm performing, but it's pretty much new to everybody because I don't pump it. You know what I'm saying? But it's out there, it's floating around. Like they put out another project with Slim 400. I'm on his last 2 or 3. So, and then it's other Ice Water artists that Mud Dollars had grabbed over the recent years. I collaborated with, so we gonna be knocking out some. You know what I'm saying?
Is Perry on J Key gonna be part of that?
Yep, I ain't talked to him about it, but more than likely, 9 times out of 10 for sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I gotta give my boy Perry on, man. He gotta come straight politic with us.
I know he hasn't been here in a minute. I think he came when you was doing the on a Rich at Heart episode.
Right. Yeah, I gotta get my boy. You know what I'm saying, out here.
All right, man. I guess we'll start with where I left off with MBnell. MBnell, the Filipino artist out of Stockton. I'm actually very shocked and surprised, bro, that they have made 0 arrests. And it's been over a week. Everything is on camera. Everything is surveilled. You really can't get away with a whole lot. But I think we might get a little insight into why no one has been arrested or captured so far. I got a couple clips here, and let's see here. I guess we'll start off with this news story out of Stockton, and this is a family. Black father, Asian mom. She looks Filipino, and they had a picture of the boy, and he is like the perfect mix of black and Asian. And this father is just, he can't take it, bro.
MBnell father.
No, one of the 4 victims that died. Of the 4 victims, 3 were kids.
Okay, so they must got like an Asian community out there, or that family is Asian. Cause okay, all right.
Yeah, there's got to be a little bit of a concentration of Filipinos in Stockton.
Mm-hmm.
But the father is really, understandably, still, he just can't get it. So let me play this clip right here.
Tonight on the fatal mass shooting at a child's birthday party in Stockton. Today, the sheriff announced that the casings found at the scene show that at least 5 guns were used, and the father of one of the children killed is now pleading with the community for help in supporting his family and finding the suspects. KTVU's Janet Katsuyama has the story.
I may even add that the woman anchor for this channel up in Stockton, she's Asian also. Okay, here we go. This is going to be the pastor speaking first, then the father of one of the victims that was killed in the shooting.
Burying our children. We are tired of blood on our streets. We are tired of gun violence stealing our future, our joy in our sons.
As the pastor spoke on Tuesday, the pain, the shock, the devastating loss showed on the faces of Patrick and Kim Peterson, whose 14-year-old son, Amari, was killed in the November 29th mass shooting at a child's birthday party.
Like I'm looking in his room. I'm looking around the corner. I'm hearing him. Am I tripping? Or is he there? Because people keep telling me he's there with me. He's in my heart and all that. But I don't see him. I don't feel him. And it's just, it's like a nightmare. And
Amari's father talked about the mental pain, the financial strain, and made a plea for the Stockton community to help find any suspects who opened fire on that room full of children.
if you do know who has something to do with this, I hope that you do the right thing.
Along with Amari, 2 8-year-old girls and a young adult were killed. 13 others were injured.
There were over 50 shell casings that were found on scene. So far, we've been able to determine that there were at least 5 different firearms that were fired at this birthday party.
The San Joaquin County Sheriff said investigators are reviewing thousands of hours of video camera footage and have received at least 50 tips. The reward now up to $130,000 for information leading to an arrest of any suspects.
We know that there were known gang members at this party, but we do not know whether that was the reason or the motive of this shooting. I want people to know that they can remain anonymous.
A call for the community to change a culture of violence and fear.
Don't be a coward and not come forward and speak, because Amari deserves you to do that. So if you don't have the courage, find somebody that can help you find it.
This should not be the norm. This cannot become acceptable.
Jana Katsuyama, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
Okay, so that's the news clip from the local news there in Stockton. I have a few clips of the sheriff giving a press conference because the news, they just played a couple clips. I pulled up 5 clips. But what's your reaction just to that news story so far, Munchie?
All right, like, cause I know if I was to throw a party, like, let's just say my daughter, she about to turn 10 on Saturday, so I got homies that got kids, they bring their kids, so quite naturally, it is gangbangers at this party. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of get it, but at the same time, it shouldn't have been. I should have waited for another day or another place to do that, other than a kid birthday party, and then what I know, it's a award for to leads and stuff, but that money come after it's a conviction though. That'd be misleading.
Yeah, but they do give the money though.
After they convicted, they want you to come. Oh, that's a slippery slope, but that's either here or there. But yeah.
Now, I feel that MBnel, right? MBnel. I think that the reason why these kids were exposed to this violence and this danger is because whoever is looking for MBnel, they know he's hard to find. He wasn't even living in Stockton. He left Stockton for whatever happened to him last time. You know, he got shot at 20-something times.
Shot the parents' house up 20-something times. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think he was either in the front or in the house or in the front of the house. He had just pulled in. So this is an ongoing situation with this Asian brother, and these guys that were looking for him, they said, hey, this is going to be our only opportunity. So let's go in there and do what we got to do. And unfortunately, 3 kids got killed, 4 people in total. All right, so let me play a couple of clips from the press conference, because whenever you watch the news, they're just going to give you a snippet of what, you know, the press conference covers. So I have 5 clips here, and this is the sheriff of San Joaquin County. His name is Withrow, Withrow, and we'll start with clip 1.
Good morning. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Appreciate the opportunity to speak directly to our public here in San Joaquin County and the rest of the state to let them know a few updates of what's going on with our mass shooting investigation. There's not a whole lot I'll be able to give you, not a lot of meat on the bone right now, unfortunately, as far as the details of what all the information they're going through, all the evidence that they're going through, and but I can give you a few things. So starting off, we now have determined with the help of ATF and the Department of Justice that there were over 50 shell casings that were found on scene at the scene of this birthday party. That means had at least 50 rounds that went off at this birthday party. Along with that, so far we've been able to determine that there were at least 5 different firearms that were fired at this birthday party. A birthday party that killed 3 innocent children and a young adult. So as you can imagine, we have a lot to process with all that type of evidence and the detail that we need to go into to try and determine how many actors we had involved in this and how many people were actually shooting, because if there was 5 different firearms, that doesn't mean there were 5 different suspects. So we've had at least 50 plus tips come in on our tip line at the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office and Crime Stoppers. I would ask people to continue to provide information as they learn about this shooting, this mass murder, and to continue to help us on this. I want people to know that they can remain anonymous. And so when you give a tip at the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office, I just learned this myself.
All right, so
So it's basically they keeping what they gathered in their investigation to themselves. Basically, they ain't really trying to leak too much. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think they know a lot though. All they know is 50 bullets, 50 casings, and then I have some more clips, but yeah, I think they know a little bit more, but I don't think they have a whole lot, because they would have been arrested. They would have taken them into custody. What's there to hold back? We know who they are, but we're gonna wait a few more days.
Yeah, but cameras don't always work either though. People be hoodied up, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shiesty mask down, and you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's one of the clips I got is he's gonna say that he's gonna answer a couple questions, and basically he said that all you can see is their eyes, and if they had on glasses or sunglasses, then you couldn't see anything.
Okay, makes sense.
But then also 5 different casings on the ground. I wonder if someone returned fire within that establishment when the first shooters came in. That's kind of that it's unusual that you're gonna have five shooters or 4 shooters. Maybe one guy had 2 guns in his hand. You know, there's a few ways this could have went.
That's why he said they trying to get the amount of shooters just because that don't mean it's that amount because of the shell casings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, they know it's 5 different types of bullets.
Right.
But you could have one guy that came in there with 2 guns blazing.
Yeah, that look cool on movies though. They ain't too smart. You ain't really accurate with, you know what I'm saying?
It's hard to get your aim too.
Right, it's hard to be accurate with 2 guns pointing.
Yeah. Okay, so 5 people. If this MBnel must have been, he must be so wanted if they sent 5 shooters.
He on the top of the op list for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I want to know his criminal history. Have he been down for like certain acts? You know what I'm saying? Just the nosy side of me, inquisitive.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is that nothing that I'm reading and none of the reports are talking about who he is as a person, because this is all about him.
They don't even say his government name.
Yeah, this is all about him, and if I could ask some questions, I would be like, well, I want to know more about the rapper. Why is he wanted? What has he done in the past? Like you said, what has he been to jail for? Because when I'm looking at the guy and I checked out a couple of his music and seen a couple of his interviews.
He rap like a tough guy, or what kind of music he?
Yeah, he do rap like it's some gang stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely some gangster stuff, and he does have a pretty dominant voice. He's a little guy, but he's got a strong voice. But he seems low key though. You know, I seen him on an interview where he's asked questions and he's kind of not really answering them completely. But he's giving a decent answer. He wasn't like A.R.Ab. I don't know if you ever saw the A.R.Ab interview from many, many, many years ago. Dude from Philadelphia.
That's gonna go down in history.
Yeah, that's got to be the worst interview ever given.
You can't even blame it on Vlad though.
I know.
As much as people want to, man, that's crazy.
I blame A.R.Ab probably 100. I'd say 90-something%. But the fact that, like, if I got that interview and I watched it and I'm editing it, I'm like, I ain't posting this, bro. I'm just not posting it. You know.
Sheesh. Hey, when I was watching that shit, I was in disbelief listening.
So I want to blame the interviewee a little bit because you knew this was going to get the brother in trouble. Yeah. And do you want to be part of assisting in that process?
I'll say they'll be able to blame me. They'll be able to blame you.
Hell yeah.
I'm not putting the blame on Vlad.
So you're saying that white folks kind of get a pass for the interrogation style interviews?
I mean, we got. I mean, I got a moral ethic when it comes to like them type of things. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I don't expect nothing out of Vlad or Adam 22 or, you know what I mean? Like, hell no. But if I was to see that Alex Alonso had put that out, that'd be a head scratcher because, you know, based on I know you personally, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I just think I put more responsibility on certain people versus others. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I had a comment a couple days ago saying, when am I going to put that front hood Compton Crip interview out with the three youngsters I interviewed?
Put it out. I think I seen that before.
Nah, I never put it out.
Yeah, that was tomorrow. We go to Compton High.
Nah, I never posted it because they were all minors.
Little short, dark skin though.
It was 3 people sitting on a bench.
Dark-skinned.
You know what it is? I probably put a picture of us. That's what it was. I took a picture. We was sitting on a bench in the park in Compton. But once I got to watching it, I knew I wasn't going to post it. They're all minors. And this was like 6-7 years ago. Let me see. Let's say 2018 or 19.
Okay.
They're all adults now.
Okay, whatever I'm talking about is not. Okay, I'm talking about something different.
Yeah, so someone said, hey, when are you going to put that interview out? I was like, I have no idea because they were minors. I have it saved. If I need to use it for something that comes up, you know, I have it.
No, they adults now.
Yeah, but I'm not just not all my content is for YouTube. Not all my content is for YouTube.
What is it for then? What you mean?
It could be for a documentary. It could be for a production. It could be for you know, some stuff that's never been seen that I could get top dollar for.
I know some good people from front of everything.
You probably might know some of these. Let me see. They're younger than you. Because I did this in, let's say, 2018, and they were all like 15, 16, 17, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I don't know them.
Yeah,
I don't know them, but I know a good amount of front hoods though for sure.
But you can tell by the style of the way MBNel was talking, he ain't gonna be that type of AR-ab, you know, speaker. You know, he was definitely trying to avoid some. But he did tell the story of his house getting shot up a bunch of times.
Right.
And I guess that had already been known. It was already knowledge.
Widely known already.
Yeah. So he's definitely a wanted guy in the city of Stockton, and we're gonna get a little deeper into this share. I got a few more short clips. I just pulled out the best parts of this press conference. So this is clip number 2 from the sheriff of San Joaquin County.
Patient. I know this is going to be difficult, but this is not going to be in a week or two. We've got an answer and we start arresting people. You have to know that. Okay, this is going to take months to process all this, figure out who did this, because you've been asking me for descriptions on the people that did this. Well, the only information we're getting so far from the folks who were at the scene was that the people involved in this were dressed all in black and had face coverings. So all you could see was this. So that's why we haven't been asking for anything. But that doesn't mean we don't know who they are, or don't believe we know who they are, or might know who they are, or people might tell us that they think these people are involved. We just need to follow the evidence to prove who was there, who did this heinous act, and that's going to take a lot of time. But I am very confident in our investigators and with all the support that we have throughout the state and the federal government that we will come to a successful conclusion.
Hey, it sounds like they have no clue who these people are.
Hey, I'm gonna keep it real. Unless MBnell, unless he tell, ain't nobody going to jail. It ain't no DNA on none of them shells. Ain't nobody going to jail.
Well, you still have the camera.
And then even if they do go to jail, It's beatable. That's an ID case.
Someone has to tell.
Somebody got to tell. The MBnel dude got to tell.
No, well, he don't know who the 5 shooters are.
He know.
Yeah, but
You know how the streets work, man.
yeah, but
Everybody know who do what.
I think one of the 5 shooters got to tell. One of them dudes got to get caught for something for this case to crack. Or they have some great video surveillance, because all they do now is they follow the cameras.
Mm-hmm. Every building you pass by got a camera on it.
Yeah, so they may have surveillance to wherever they drove to.
Hey, look, if they whatever vehicles they got on, and if they can't run a plate, they got away with this.
Maybe. Well, that's going to be crazy, because how often does someone get away with a mass murder? 4 people.
I ain't gonna lie. This seem like they about to. And hypothetically, if somebody do go to jail, man, you sit there for some years and fight it. This beatable. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not being what's the word? Because I know family members was lost, but this is an ID case. You know what I mean? Somebody that's a convict that been through the system before, that ain't nervous. They gonna know they just got to sit there for a minute, sit in the county jail 3-4 years and fight it.
And then also, outside of the 5 people, we're assuming, I'm just saying 5 shooters because there's 5 casings. It could be 4 shooters, it could be 3, but let's just say 5 for the purposes of understanding what's going on. Let's say outside of these 5 shooters, there's other people who know what the 5 shooters close circle know that they did this. And any of them dudes could open up their big mouth to the police. If they catch a case, I'm like, you know how it is. You got caught with a bird, and you start telling the detectives, look, man, I can give you information on that shooting.
Big ass get out of jail free card.
Yeah.
So you get caught with some keys, and you got the drop on this mass shooting, and they gonna let you go.
Because how likely is it that these 5 guys, if it's 5, only them know what they did? Because they're from a hood, they're from a neighborhood, they're from a community. How likely do you think only them 5 know?
Whatever amount of dudes it was a driver in there too that didn't bust, so somebody was waiting in the car. Man, I don't know, man. I don't think this gonna get solved. And if they do, they gonna grab somebody that didn't have nothing to do with it just to close the case, because this look bad on the city.
Oh, that's terrible.
It look bad on the department and look bad on the city. So they'd grab somebody just to close the case.
Well, I know Jason Lee would hate to hear that. I actually tapped in with Jason Lee on his email, was hoping that he would call, but I would hate for him to have a conversation with us about this, where you're saying, "Oh, I don't think nobody gonna get caught for this, Mr. Lee."
Well, Jason Lee, from the last time we ran an episode, I heard him say that he had a brother that was unalived. You know what I'm saying? So he got some street element in his family, and I don't think he a square. You know what I'm saying? He got sense. He probably hopeful that somebody get brought to justice, but I don't take him to be a square.
All right, let me play the 3rd clip of this press conference.
If I could just start with asking, based on what you just said, it doesn't mean you don't know who it is. Would you be able to tell us, do you think you know who it is? And also, with a week gone by now and no suspect descriptions released, with surveillance cameras, flock cameras, images available to your investigative unit, what is the strategy behind not releasing any images?
Well, a couple different questions there, but I think your one point that the images are available, but that doesn't mean we've had the time to go through the thousands of hours of images or cameras or things like that to possibly identify somebody. Have we had tips come in with names and things like that? Absolutely. People online have been saying things like that as we've been following those. But we need to be able to prove those type of things. And so we can't say right now that, yes, we definitely know who these people were. But we have a tremendous amount of leads that is going to take a tremendous amount of time to go through and slowly narrow it down and catch these guys.
Hey, man, the thing that stood out to me is when he said there's a lot of information online. So that means they got detectives just reading comments, reading, different boards. They're on Reddit. They're trying to get clues, perhaps off the internet, Munchie.
That's an investigation tool now, social media. You know what I mean?
And that's another possible way that the evidence ends up on the police desk. Stuff on the internet. We've seen it like so many times with these other like shootings in different cities and different states. Your boy DJ Academics likes to dissect it and then encourage people from those cities to tap in, and they start leaving comments. They're in the live chat. They're saying names, and then before you know it, someone's arrested.
Okay, I didn't know Academics be doing that.
I think he kind of
doing police work.
Yeah, but it's interesting because a lot of the viewers, they want to see that. It definitely generates a lot of following. I wouldn't say he's trying to do police work. I think it inadvertently becomes a tool that police use. He's just there trying to get 5,000 people in the chat. He's just there trying to pad his, get his numbers as high as he can. And I noticed that people like tapping in with that type of content when you're trying to dissect the crime. I did a video on the Nipsey Hussle shooting in the parking lot, but I did it after the fact. It was over with, and then I broke it down frame by frame.
After the fact, during the fact, it didn't even matter because Eric Holder not saying he didn't do the crime. He just saying the reason why he did it is this.
Yeah, but
so if you know what I'm saying, if you was to like dissect the case while the case was going on, I don't think it would have made a difference.
It wouldn't have made a difference from the LAPD perspective, but there are people that think that Eric Holder did not act alone. There are people that still to this day believe that people in that parking lot were a part of the conspiracy, which I don't believe at all. I think that's 100% untrue. So I do think it's good to wait, because a lot of people were criticizing me for just letting the LAPD narrative be what it was. Eric Holder, sole shooter, only person. He's convicted. It's over. Case closed. And people are like, no, the case ain't closed. There's still other people involved. And I'm like, no, there isn't. So even to this day, and then when Big U getting arrested, man, I clicked on a stupid video that said Big FBI is investigating Big U's connection to the Nipsey Hussle murder. It was clickbait, but people are still trying to push that narrative, Munch.
Yeah, man. Big U and Nipsey towards the end of his demise, it's conflicting stories. Like they patched it back up and got back cool or whatever. However, they had a rocky relationship. But man, that's everybody got conspiracy theories and stuff. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I hate that. You know what I'm saying? It kind of be irritating me sometimes.
So you're not one of that believes that there's a possible alternative theory to the Eric Holder shooting Nipsey? Like there's other players involved, and
I mean that was spontaneous. An orchestrated shooting don't go as messy as that.
Yeah.
Like so I mean I don't even entertain that talk. A lot of it be like they be fans and they be wanting a real reason, but the reason is simple. It ain't rational, but it's simple that, you know what I'm saying, he was triggered by being called a snitch. You know what I'm saying?
I think the part that establishes the spontaneity of what Eric Holder did was the fact that he went to the car and started to load his semi-automatic weapon. It wasn't loaded. The girl testified he had a pocket full of bullets. And the other gun that he had two guns, but the other gun, that his main gun, wasn't even loaded.
Hey, listen. This man pulling in the parking lot had the car on camera. Then he talked with them, go back to the car, don't have money for his food after ordering his food, go in, pay for his food, go get his food, go shake the dude's hands again, pull off, instructor to go park in the alley. He eat a little bit of his fries. He say F it. He blows up his gun. He gets out the car, set his fries on top of the car, walks back into the parking lot. Oh, that's not orchestrated, dude. That's stupid. You know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. But a lot of people, they be wanting something to and I mean, especially for family members, they want to know like why. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the whatever reason people be giving, it don't be good enough. And they want to know why. It got to be deeper than what it is, but
that's the way it is. And as many times as people have dissected that shooting, they still believe that there's more to it. And yeah, that's exactly what Academics does. I think he did it with one of the guys from the Migos got shot, and there were different angles of camera angles of who was there outside of this building and who walked where, who came into the shot, who left the shot, and there was so much information. And of course, they arrested a dude like a couple weeks later,
Right.
for that shooting.
I never heard the outcome on that. I know he ended up bailing out or something, right?
Yeah, he did get bail.
Right.
Yeah, he did get bail.
Never heard the outcome of that.
But that was a big video for Academics in terms of his analysis and review. It basically sounded like he was trying to solve the case, but you know, that's what probably is going to be needed in this Stockton case. Let me go to clip 4. Another question from the media.
Sheriff, you mentioned 5 firearms discovered at the scene, but you said you don't know if you're looking for 5 suspects. Can you confirm if people inside the birthday party were shooting back at the suspects and whether or not the firearms found on the roof of a nearby building are those same firearms?
I can tell you, first of all, let me correct one thing. I didn't say that we found 5 firearms on scene. I said it was the shell casings. Tell us that there were at least 5 firearms, maybe more, because we're still processing those. And and we did find firearms on top of the roof. I do not know if ATF has tied that to these shell casings as being some of the firearms that were discharged there yet. But we have at least 5 firearms that we know were used. It doesn't mean that we have them in our possessions. All that evidence came off of the shell casings at the scene at this time.
Can you confirm that the people inside the party, whether or not they were shooting back at the suspects?
I cannot confirm that at this time. We have, detailed evidence that we collected at the scene and trajectories and all that has to be gone through and they. At some time during this investigation, we will be able to determine what direction those rounds were traveling, and that will give us information of where shooters were standing and what direction they were shooting.
All righty, so that's interesting. They found some guns nearby. ATF has scooped in and then took over this investigation because I guess they don't want these local cops to mess this up.
Yes, but they pay rate.
Yeah, and
ATF had to step in.
They're stepping in and they're going to be analyzing it. So now the feds are part of this. That's why I think someone's going to get caught. You got the feds now with all their resources a part of this investigation, and those shooters are somewhere right now sweating bullets. They're like, damn, the feds came in. Damn, what they got? But these guns in the nearby property on the roof somewhere.
Yeah, that tell me a lot. I don't want to say, man.
You don't want to say?
Yeah, that tell me a lot, though.
I could tell you one thing my dad always used to tell me. I don't know why he used to tell me this when I was young, but he used to say, if you're ever going to do a shooting with a gun, obviously, after you're finished with the shooting, leave the gun there. Just leave it there. Just shoot the person and drop the gun there. Of course, without your fingerprints and DNA on it, but just leave the gun there. And he felt his position was you are more likely to get away with the shooting if you leave the gun there rather than leave with the gun. So the first thing I thought about is these shooters, maybe they found a place close by. We're just going to leave these guns here. There's no DNA, there's no fingerprints, and they can't be traced to any of us. Let them find it and let them do their thing with these guns.
I wish I was able to holler at Pops and go further into his you know what I'm saying?
His theory. I think that's an old like 1940s, 50s, 60s way of thinking. Nobody does that today. I saw an old James Cagney movie. You know, gangster movie from the 40s and 50s. The dude shot the dude and he just dropped the gun, left it right. He put the gun right on the dude's body and left. I was like, okay, this is some old school gangster way of doing it. But
I would like to know the thought process behind it.
Cioè, we don't exterminate you. It's funny or what? Hey, Paul, let che hai fatto? Una birra? Yeah, Marco, what you do? No, me, nothing. It wasn't me. It's gotta be him, man. Hey, pull over, will you? I gotta take a leak. Leave the gun. Take the cannoli.
I got one last clip, and this is about video evidence.
The thousands of hours of video, I imagine some of it is surveillance. What other sources have you gotten video from, whether it's from people, from businesses? Where's the video coming from?
You know, as you know, nowadays, we're all on camera all the time. So we're accepting video evidence and gathering video evidence from every possible location that we can. So as you can imagine, we'll obviously try and find video evidence around the scene of the crime, and out from there, we'll take video evidence from anyone who will send it in on our tip line. You can download it there, again, anonymously, and we'll go through that frame by frame to see anything that we can out. So you can imagine there's going to be a tremendous amount of video to go through, and our federal partners at the FBI and our guys and Stockton PD and DAI, we're all going through that as quick as possible to try and start narrowing the scope of this investigation down.
There you go. That's the last clip. San Joaquin County, city of Stockton. And I don't think they got a clue at this point.
Mm-mm.
But they're going to get it together, because it's very rare that a mass shooting does not get solved, because they bring in all the investigators, all the detectives, all the federal agencies.
Well, in most cases with mass shootings, they not being discreet.
Yeah.
So that's the difference.
You're basically saying most mass shooters, they just walk into the building,
Right.
whether it's a school, and they know they're on camera, they're being seen.
Whether it's school, remember like in Buffalo when he went to the grocery store, like all the mass shootings, and I ain't even talking about Melvo with the DC sniper, because is that considered a mass shooting, or that was just he went on a run? He went on a long.
He was a serial killer,
right? A string of killings, but as far as mass shootings, they ain't discreet. So like these dudes is they face covered, all you can see is their eyes. So they gotta tap into their gang intelligence as far as Stockton, wherever MBnell from, they go figure out who they beef with. You know what I'm saying? Compare height and all that. You know what they gonna do.
I don't think it's that difficult for the Stockton police to figure out who doesn't like this guy. That's very simple.
Yeah,
who doesn't like NB? What's his name again?
MBnell.
MBnell. Who don't like him? And then boom, that's where you start investigating.
I ain't gonna lie, Inglewood Police. Well, these dudes, these new ones is kind of different, but like the police in my city, they so tapped in with us, and they, I believe if it was like if I was covered up and I did a crime, and let's just say 77 police contacted them, they're like, that's Munchie. I'm like, you feel me? They didn't deal with us for so long, like. So I don't know, man. And that Stockton ain't big, right?
300,000. So it's not tiny, but it's not big. 300,000. Like Long Beach is about 450,000. So it's a little smaller than Long Beach. Compton is about 100,000. So it's a little bit bigger than Compton, a little bit smaller than Long Beach.
Yeah, that Inglewood Police thing with the gangs in Inglewood is a little bit more intimate. They know, right? You know what I'm saying?
What's the population of Inglewood? About a little over 100,000?
I believe so.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's a smaller community, probably easier to police, but also Inglewood PD is probably only about 300 cops, you know.
Yeah, but, you know, it flipped now, so it probably, they ain't got it, they not as savvy as they used to be, you know what I'm saying? These police is they not as tapped in like the veterans, like when I was coming up.
Oh, yeah. Do you think that the older cops were a little bit more smarter?
Man, this preliminary, I just left for my current case. That police that was up there, you could run circles around him like a lawyer.
Yeah,
like he ain't really got too like he. You know what I'm saying? These new IPDs kind of, you know what I mean.
Well, there is also less crime right now too. So I'm sure there was a time, I remember in 2008, the Inglewood police were shooting and killing people like it was required.
Right.
Like every other week, you was hearing about some Inglewood police officer shooting somebody. You know, that's definitely calmed down since then. This had to be like 07, 08, 09, 2010, right in that period.
Right.
And I'm surprised no one from Inglewood, none of the Inglewood police officers ever got charged or indicted or any of that. And some of these people were unarmed.
Yeah, man.
Most of these people were unarmed, and nothing ever happened. And that was a different era. No body cams, less cameras. More and more cops are getting charged nowadays.
Rest in peace, Ruben Ortega, my boy Dub from the hood. The police pulled up. He about to hit the gate, and they told him to get down. He hopped down off the gate, and they gunned him down and murdered him.
And then there was a postal worker that got shot through the door, Kevin Wico.
Was that through the door, or did they knock on the wrong door? And he came to the door with his gun.
He had a gun. He came to the door, but they shot him, I believe, through the door and killed him.
And then the two young males on Crenshaw Manchester, they shot the vehicle up, and they didn't even gangbang. Was in nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm assuming they thought they was from Inglewood family. Then you had the young lady on Manchester and eucalyptus. They would sleep at the light. They unalived her.
Then they had the youngster that was riding a bicycle. I think he was from NHP.
Rest in peace, Tony Taco.
And they just aired him out.
Yep, shot him off his bike. That was my boy. Rest in peace, Tony Taco.
Man, Inglewood was out of control. And all these shootings we're talking about are within like the 2-3 year period.
Mm-hmm.
What was going on with Inglewood back then, man? That shit is crazy when you think about it.
I think maybe the the gangbangers was more, hanging out more, and they scared. And then I think it's so if you a police officer and you nervous and you scared, this ain't the job for you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
All right, man. I found this interesting clip of Wack 100. It appears that people are starting to report right now for the first time that he is no longer managing the game.
Right.
So there's been a lot of clips and a lot of videos that's based off of this streamer guy named Neon that, Wack 100 got fired from the game. It's like this is 2025 news for most people. And I guess we'll get into it a little bit more deeper into what we know. But let me play this clip of this guy named Neon who pulled up at an event. And here we go.
All right, we'll get out from there. Maybe not a big ass light once we get inside, but just just a little, tone it down just a little, and then we do that. Alrighty. Yep. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? I wore the all black. Is this good enough?
That's good, smooth.
Is this all black?
Yes, sir.
Ah, thank God.
Travis, a game manager.
How you doing, brother?
Owner of the spot right here.
Hello. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Welcome.
Yes, sir. I'm cool to stream and everything?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's run.
Okay, so that little clip, some guy named Trav went up to Neon, shook his hand, and introduced himself as games manager.
Right.
And because of this clip, it started getting circulated. Everybody's like, "Oh wow, the game fired Wack 100 as manager." And we've been known, Munchie,
right,
that game had been falling back from this dude probably for the last 2 or 3 years.
He been relieved of his duties.
Yeah. And what really made it clear to me is that if you paid attention to Wack's Instagram page, 3-4 years ago, he used to put who he was managing in the description, and he had the game's name in there. At some point, game must have called him, must have said something, and I think he just took out everybody's name so it didn't look bad. But I think he had Blueface, Game, and maybe 2 other people, manager to these 4 people, something like that. That let me know, okay, game was definitely falling back. And then some people were telling me here on the streets or what was going on behind the scenes. But I'm sure you was probably privy to some of the same information I was getting.
Yeah, I said a couple times, maybe right here, no jumper on my own. Morals over money. I said, a friend of mine was invited to a game show in Orange County, and this is like a couple years ago, you know. And my rapper friend say, so with the boy, you know what I'm saying? We see the boy, he's up with him, referring to Wack. And the game said, F him. Shit, he ain't my manager. Basically, like, he don't care whatever y'all, you know what I'm saying? And this been years ago. And I done repeated this a couple times. I been know that wasn't his manager. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you know, the Wack, he go try to attach himself to people, and, you know what I'm saying, so it can still seem like irrelevant, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think the role that Game used for, or the role that Wack played for Game, was to hide his assets. I don't think it was so much music related, business related, just helping him to with some trickery, which and at the end of the day it didn't even work. Because from what I understand, the woman that was suing the Game came for the house that the Game owned, this really nice house off of Mulholland. That house was in Wack's name.
Right.
People think, and sometimes it does work, it doesn't always work, especially in California, it doesn't work. You put someone's house in another person's name, that might protect it. Because Wack didn't get sued, the Game got sued. But in this instance, the woman followed up and told the court that they're playing these games, they're trying to hide assets, and at the end of the day, I think this woman got possession of that house.
Right.
Which is crazy. And it still doesn't fulfill the debt, because the house is worth like maybe $2 or $3 million, and I think the woman was awarded $4 or $5 or $6 million. I don't remember the details of it. Seven, something like that. So she's not done. She's still coming.
But the Game, well, he couldn't have seen that in the near future, but if Wack going through a divorce and you got your assets in his name, shoot, it could land in Kim lap. You know what I'm saying? So, whew, I don't know, man.
Okay, let me give a little game to people. When you buy a property and you want to protect it, put it in a family trust name. So that means you got to set up a trust. So you got to set up a family trust, and you got to do that through a lawyer. I wouldn't recommend trying to do it yourself, even though you can, but it's very tedious. And then once you have your trust set up, then you can transfer your assets under the trust, and it's protected that way. Don't put your house in the name of your homeboy.
Right.
No. Just set up a trust, and you should be good. Also, if someone's coming after you for like $8 million, you might want to consider buying property out of state, because California doesn't protect your property.
Like O.J. Simpson did.
O.J. was smart. He's like, you know what? I'm about to buy me a mansion in Florida, and they'll never come after that house, because Florida doesn't allow you to lose your house for a lawsuit. And he was able to live the rest of his life in that nice house, and the Goldmans could never come after it. In California, they could have came after his house. So, you know, there's things that you can do, Game. And if I was managing you, Game, you would still have. I would have got you out of that house on Mulholland, but I probably would have got you in a nice house in another state that was well protected, and you would have been good. And then we would have set up a trust, and we would have put any of your other assets in the trust. Because I understand when people come after you for lawsuits. I've had people try to come after me. I've had the owner of a strip mall that I stopped paying rent on come after me in federal court, talking about I was hiding my assets. And of course I sat there and said, no, I'm not hiding my assets. I'm using the law to protect my assets. You know, there's a difference. Hiding assets, using the law to protect your assets.
Okay. Are you familiar with the term a family office?
A family office? No, not just like that.
Okay. Because I heard Dame Dash, she keep throwing that term around family office. So I'm thinking, is that the same thing as a trust?
Nah, you just say trust. You know, it's a trust is a trust.
Okay, they go tap in the viewers, and because Dame, I'm gonna send you a link one of these days, so it might help me understand what he's talking about.
Yeah. Plus, he's under New York state law, which is different. Obviously, each state is different, and they're coming after him for some money, huh?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
All right. So that clip started circulating around, and people started to get an understanding for the first time, I guess, that that game doesn't mess with Wack anymore on a business level. Will he talk to him? Will he text with him? Will he communicate with him? I don't know. But I have a clip here of Wack trying to explain himself to Adam 22 on No Jumper. This is a 12-minute clip. I'm just going to play like maybe 2 minutes of it so you can get an idea of this.
There's a video that came out this week. A little bit of virality to it. I've seen it doing quite a good number of views, and it basically was making the argument that Wack 100 is A, no longer the game's manager, and B, is not necessarily on good terms with the game anymore. I can get into some of the details that they used.
Let me hear the details. Case. Give me the details.
So the first thing that they showed was basically a clip from a Neon live stream in which Neon is going to Game's birthday party, and there's another dude who's coming out who's his manager.
It's not another dude. That's my financial manager, you dumbass.
Well, I'm not the one.
He's been with us 10 years, weirdo.
You don't got. Why are you attacking me?
Listen.
Can you clarify that you're talking to the guy who made the video and not me?
Every house, every car, any of that shit you ever see me, Game, or Blueface with, he does it. Now, correction, Game has always had a management team. Okay. It's never been just one guy. Right? So, like local clubs and shit, you would see more Sonic than me when it came to overseas and albums.
That's that guy's name, Sonic?
No, that's not Sonic.
Oh.
You would see more of Sonic than me when it came to albums overseas and shit like that. Then you would see the Wack 100 shit. When it comes to spot dates, it's a free for all to whoever got called. Right? Now, our financial manager is also a manager of Eric Bellinger, as well as the dude, I always forget, Conscience. He's from Jamaica. And he does sit in a management seat, right? So at the end of the day, can that guy make the decisions? He could make the same decisions any of us could make. Him saying he's Game's manager, he's well in his right to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, okay.
So do I still conduct business when business comes? Yes, I do. Does he conduct business? Yes, he does. And he's still the guy that when we need our vehicles and we need our homes and we need anything financial done, he's the only one that does that for us. He was part of my team on the financial side. Since then, he stepped into his own label situation and got his own artists in his own situations. Now, without me saying too much, right? It's certain deals and certain things that I do and certain things I won't do. Right? Now, Travis, his name is Travis. Trav for the Stars. Go follow him on Instagram. He's doing a great job. What he knows, he knows. The things he don't know, then I'm here to know. Right? So, yes, it ain't never been no one person. But Wack's always been in the forefront because the overall bigger business from the last 12 years or 10, 11, 12 years has always been mine. From 2013 to Drillmatic.
Okay.
He's just talking in circles, huh?
He over explaining. And then for the viewers, he never answered the question. You know what I'm saying? He's explained different type of managers and things like that. He didn't answer whether he's game manager or not. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, everybody, I mean, I think the metaverse is picking up on that this man's a liar. He's not good at lying. He you know, he's very deceitful. And, you know.
And 2025 has got to be his worst year. It's got to be his worst year. And by listening to him try to answer this question, he doesn't know how to just take an L.
Right.
He doesn't know how to just say, yeah, I'm done. It's a done deal. It's over. He does not know how to do that. And he does a terrible job at trying to talk around it, at least the way I see it. Now, there's a lot of people that are convinced by the slivery way that he talks and the way he avoids these questions. But we all should have paid attention to him testifying in Las Vegas court during the D4vd hearing. This guy does not know how not to lie. It's just everything is a lie.
Pathological. He not too far behind Loose Cannon.
Yeah, I think we talked about him. I think you said Loose Cannon probably has the record of the amount of lies.
Nobody topping Loose Cannon. You know what I'm saying? But Wack is in the running.
Yeah. Well, now that Loose Cannon is the Termaine Williams, I don't feel comfortable calling him Loose Cannon, the fake Cannon.
Mm-hmm.
Now that he's in federal custody, right now, I have to say Wack is in the lead.
Still not in the league.
Why?
The man lied from jail. He just said that he broke the news to Big U that his son passed away and they cried together. He's lying from his cell.
Yeah.
He's still in the league, bro.
But we don't get to hear him and see him on a regular basis anymore, so I don't think he's on the list anymore. And even since that, what you're talking about, since he said that, he hasn't even really been doing any interviews. He hasn't been doing any phone calls or anything like that. Okay, did you see the clip of Wack and Big Homie CC together?
They shouldn't have ever been. See, that's that weird shit. Why is they together and you just talking like woofing on them?
Okay, let me play this clip because this is kind of weird. I thought they was like enemies, didn't like each other. All right, let me play this.
Woman got more ass than his last 8 bitches.
Hey, why you on that again?
It was in my woman DM saying, that's why your ass is flat.
When I ran
Now let me just say, this is both Big Homie CC, Wack 100 standing side by side having a conversation in a parking lot somewhere. So this is what kind of surprised me. I was like, okay, what's going on? But I think Big Homie CC is not really accepting the friendly gestures. So here we go.
Your ass is flat.
When I ran up on these niggas, what
That's
happened?
why you ain't never
When I ran up on y'all, what happened?
You never ran up on
You had to protect your little homie loose. You had to pull it behind you.
Why you didn't get it?
Because y'all sent the boogeyman, nigga. That's what happened. That's what happened.
Wait.
Your
Wait.
homie
Hold
see
on.
me and said what?
Now watch
Only
this.
saying what they say.
Hey, watch this.
They say, Wack,
He would
save
have
us.
been that nigga in the alley about him stopped.
I got more
That
kills.
strip truck
I
big ass
got
would have
more
been like
kills
this.
than you've been on dates.
That nigga would have been like this.
I got more kills than you've been on dates.
Listen, see, that's your problem.
I don't got no problem. No, I ain't got no problem.
Niggas that ain't been to the penitentiary
A nigga-
say those type of things. We don't say them type of
It's
things.
the same nigga.
I ain't sell
It's
nothing
the
but
same
some bugs with some rays.
The kids I brought home, it's the same nigga who sent that money to bring them kids home and they want to play dumb. It's the same nigga. No, listen, now he don't know. Now he don't know.
Oh, they're talking about you.
Oh, now you don't
But
know.
is that true though?
You know it's true.
I thought you was captain. I hope you are. Listen.
Hold on, watch it. Oh,
I
since
hope
we
you
out
are.
here on the eye, I'm stacking. Watch this. Since we right here.
I hope you're not
Peak
captain.
game. Peak game.
He said he was
Don't
going to
spray. Hey, what happened? When y'all see me,
you know the
Wack had to
kidnapping
save his
the
little
kids.
homies. When you had to save your little homies.
No.
You told Lil
I
Moose to
was-
get behind
no,
you.
I stopped him from attacking you.
I was gonna send you and him to the upper room, and you know that.
Not me.
Well, I wasn't gonna smoke you. I was gonna
I
smoke
was
Lil.
too close.
Watch
you gotta
this.
remember.
I don't
If
remember
I was
shit.
tripping,
Look,
if
look,
I
look.
was
Hold
tripping,
on, right here, right.
I would have walked around and hit a nigga with a head nod. I wouldn't have been nowhere over there.
And I would have hit everybody with a headshot.
Boy, you wouldn't have saw it coming.
Hold on. Right here. That's the fat man.
Who's that?
That's me. Hold on, let me show you something. Hold on, check this out.
What is that?
She was kidnapped by Al Shabaab. Where was I at? I went and got her back. Hold on. Watch it.
Did
Watch
you
this.
do the interview?
Watch this. Who is that talking to 100 babies, nigga? A real gangster.
Listen.
Where was you at?
Listen, I'm telling
With
you.
somewhere with R&B
I
doing your thing, right?
No,
I don't
hope-
jump in no woman inbox.
All right, I'm gonna end it right there. I thought for a minute Homie CC was gonna fire on him and just shock him, but I guess they friends now.
It ain't a respect there though. Big homie CC still getting at him sideways.
Yeah, you can tell Big Homie CC is not accepting his nice approach. But this is the way it's ever gonna be for you, Munchie. If you're ever in a room with Wack 100, he's gonna act just like this.
It's not gonna happen.
He's gonna smile. He's gonna try to shake your hand.
It's not gonna happen.
But this is the way he did it to Cowboy, right?
Hey, listen.
You just mentioned how he did it to Cowboy. This is a brand new video. He did the same thing.
Hassan Campbell. He did it to Cowboy. He did it to Big Homie CC. He did it to let me see. He talked crazy about the Gumby dude and sat across from right after that. That's what he do, right? But it's impossible for me and this man to be in the same space. it would never happen. And if it did, I don't want to be around him.
I don't know how these two guys ended up in this parking lot together. I don't know the backstory of this. The title of this is Big Homie CC Destroys Wack 100 in a Face-to-Face Meetup. And he did kind of I think he did bully the conversation.
Come on, bro. You laughing about this man being in your girl DM? What's funny about that? You know what I'm saying? This dude's just a buster, man. And you know, you're the worst type of person.
Yeah, 2025 has been his worst year, and I don't think anyone's going for it except for your his clubhouse minions. That's about it. That's all he got right now.
Right.
All right, man. This D4vd David.
I didn't know you had that big homie CC clip. That's funny.
I didn't plan on it. I just thought about it and I just pulled it up.
Yeah.
So you was aware of that one already? No?
No.
Oh, this is brand new.
I'm gonna have to borrow that one.
and it made me just think about what you said the other day about him and Cowboy. It's the same pattern.
Right.
It's the same exact pattern. This just dropped yesterday. So yeah. Tap in with that. And it just exposed, to me, you got to really pay close attention to this. Even though big homie CC is not as aggressive as I was expected, he's still understanding that this guy is full of S, you know?
But that's a W for big homie CC.
Definitely.
So, you know.
And obviously this channel that titled it gave him the W by saying big homie CC destroys Wack. I think big homie CC could have did a little bit more. You could have put your hand in his face. You could have pushed him. You could have said, you know, there's a few things he could have said without being violent, you know. But he stood on his own. But you know what? I watched this dude do a lot of interviews, and this dude, big homie CC, do be telling tall tales. He do be telling tall tales.
That's what I hear, but I can't confirm. Or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, about the people he's been security for,
right,
and things of that sort. But I'm not even going to get into all of that. But all right, I wanted to talk about David, the singer. Apparently, there is a grand jury investigation into Celeste Rivas being found in the trunk of David's Tesla. And this grand jury investigation has been, I think it convened in this month, December. And one of the persons that they've questioned was a road manager. I have, here, let me play this little clip, and I got an article as well. Let's see if this will play. Let me go to the article first. The title is David's Label Exec Faces Grand Jury Questioning in Teen's Death. An executive at the record label of rising star David faced some tough questions in front of a grand jury this week. Robert Morgenroth, general manager of Mogul Vision, testified Monday in connection with the death of teenager Celeste Rivas, whose decomposed body was found in a Tesla registered to the singer. According to TMZ, which cited sources that allegedly overheard Morgenroth on the phone in the hallway outside the courtroom, Morgenroth left. Los Angeles County District Attorney Beth Silverman was very pushy. Now, this is Morgenroth is on the phone talking to somebody, and he's saying, this DA was very pushy on why I didn't call the police regarding the incident. Morgenroth allegedly answered Silverman during the grand jury investigation by explaining, quote, I feel like I don't have the responsibility to do that. And I just wanted to continue with the tour. David was on tour at the time Hernandez's body was found though the tour was called off a few days later. The singer is believed to be a suspect in Hernandez's death. So somebody was eavesdropping on Morgenroth's phone call, and I guess the DA, you know how the DAs are like, why you didn't call the police? You know, that's the first thing you should have did. Why you didn't call the LAPD?
This the first time I'm hearing him even being held in the regard as a suspect.
Well, it says the article concludes he's believed to be a suspect. So they're not even, the LAPD hasn't even publicly said he's a suspect. But it's clear that he's got to be a suspect. That's the first person that you got to consider. But so far, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of evidence that a homicide or a murder has occurred.
Sheesh, we gonna see how this play out. This ain't the end of it. We gonna be covering this all the way to like February, and then it's gonna really get cracking.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where it seems like a murder may have happened, but then maybe at the end of the day it wasn't a homicide. Let me play this clip. from this is Mr. Weber, who's been covering this case. Law and Crime and TMZ have been all over this case from the beginning. And this is Weber from Law and Crime doing a story for News Nation about this situation.
On Celeste Rivas Hernandez and David. Now, David, of course, spelled with the number 4, being the up-and-coming music star whose alleged underage girlfriend, Celeste Rivas Hernandez, even though that hasn't been confirmed totally by authorities, she was found dead in his Tesla back in September. Now, we've reported that an investigative grand jury is hearing testimony. TMZ says the panel heard yesterday from the head of David's touring company. And according to TMZ, the witness was overheard telling his own lawyer afterward in the hallway that the prosecutor who questioned him really pressed him, quote, on why I didn't call police. Now, he says that he reportedly responded, quote, I feel I didn't have the responsibility to do that and just wanted to continue with the tour. In fact, the tour, if we're assuming it's David's tour, was scrapped a couple of weeks after Celeste's body was found. And though TMZ reports David is now officially a suspect in the teen's death and concealment, maybe both, no one yet has been arrested or charged.
Officially a suspect.
Well, TMZ's reporting it.
Okay.
So that's not official. If TMZ...
And then for somebody to lose their life that you know that's close-knit, continue your tour for like 2 more weeks is crazy.
Yeah, that's a red flag for sure. If I was David, and when I got that call from the police, I would have suspended my tour the very next day. You know, but I bet you agree with his tour manager when he told the DA in the grand jury, that's not my responsibility, right?
I agree.
Yeah, I knew you were going to agree with that one. I don't know what to call the police for what though, because we don't know what you saw. You saw a dead body. You saw them putting him in the trunk. Like, why? What was it that the DA wanted you to call the police for?
Right.
That's very unclear.
When we get that context, then we could further. You know what I'm saying?
But I could tell you that it depends on what he saw. But I believe sometimes it's not your business to call the police. You know. You got to protect yourself and your family. And sometimes calling the police can get you in trouble.
Exactly.
Because they'll misinterpret something.
Right.
You know, I had the police come knock on this studio door one time looking for 2 people from a Amber Alert that they believed that I had information on.
Oh, you told me this.
Yeah. And I'll always tell this story because the police tried to give me a guilt trip about the possibility of 2 kids being killed, and you probably have information on it. And I said, I feel bad for whatever happened to those 2 kids, but I cannot assist you in any way, shape, or form because 1, I got to protect me, and 2, I got to protect my family. Because they wanted me to come down to the police station to answer questions voluntarily. And I said, no, I'm not going to do it. I even put my hands out. I said, the only way you're going to get me to the police station is if you're arresting me. Am I being arrested? I put my arms out. Are you going to cuff me? Because if not, I'm going to close this door and we're going to end this conversation. Of course, they want to make you feel bad. There's 2 kids out there. They could be dead. And I'm sure that this DA wants to make this man feel bad, the road manager, for not coming forward. It's not his job.
Right.
He's got a family. He's got to protect himself. You know.
No, rest in peace to her though, and I agree with his rebuttal in that testimony.
Yeah, but we don't know exactly what he saw, witnessed, was around. Now, if let's just
either
say
way, it ain't his job.
Okay, here's a hypothetical. What if he's in the kitchen minding his business and he turns around and he sees David and 2 or 3 other people rolling her up into a rug, and then they walking out the back door. Now he sees that. He's not a part of it. He didn't participate in it. What does he do?
I don't want to answer that.
I don't want to answer it either. But I'll tell you what my dad would tell me to do. How about that? I'll tell you what my dad would tell me to do.
Right.
My dad would tell me, mind your effing business. You didn't see nothing. That's what my dad would tell me to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, I don't.
No, you don't got to say.
Yeah, certain questions, certain, hypotheticals, you stay away from.
Yeah. All right. So this case is still going. It's probably going to go into 2026. And the last thing I'll bring up, man,
It's too high profile to let go.
yeah, and I'm sure that LAPD is under a lot of pressure to arrest somebody. You know, the bosses are like, we got a dead body in the trunk and nobody. You got nobody. You know, so they're under a lot of pressure to bring this case to a conclusion. And they also, last thing I'll say before we move on to our last story is that the coroner report and the coroner's information is not going to be released to the public.
Oh yeah, we covered that last week.
Yeah,
that week before.
Yeah, and that's come up again with this information. And sometimes it makes me think that, is there something to hide because you don't want us to see how bad you guys are doing in this investigation? Or are you trying to make this a murder when it's not a murder? Are you trying to, is it just an accidental death and that's not good enough for your bosses? You know, because there's more information that the coroner has in their report that's never been public. We don't know. So we'll leave it right there. All right. We always talk about the dangers of prison and the county jail. And unfortunately, another person was killed, this time in the county jail. The last one we reported was at state prison.
Calipat, I think.
Calipat. The young guy from, actually, he was the victim in that one. He was from ATC. You familiar with ATC?
Yep.
Yeah.
Over there, about the 30s.
Yep. That's why he had that SC tattoo on his neck.
Okay.
So we got a brand new situation that just happened in the county jail. I'll read this really quickly. Let's see here. An inmate at the men's Central Jail in Los Angeles died Tuesday morning, prompting a homicide investigation. The man's death was reported around 5 a.m. at the jail on Boucher Street. The LA County Sheriff's Department did not release details about the death. It is not immediately clear what caused the death. The Sheriff's Department also did not want to say why the dead inmate was incarcerated in the first place.
Damn, not even that?
Yeah, nothing. The Sheriff's Department investigates all in-custody deaths, which are also examined by the Department Oversight and the Inspector General's office. And then the last sentence, this is funny. Anyone with information about this death is urged to contact the Sheriff's Homicide Bureau. First of all, this happened inside the walls, so no one's going to have information on this death except for y'all.
Right.
You know, this happened behind the walls. This didn't happen on the streets. So, yeah, this just happened. No, not a lot of information. But I will add this. Let's see. This is take a guess how many people have died in the LA County Jail this year. Now, when I say die, everything from accident, overdose, murder, stabbing, just people who have just died in the custody of the LA County Sheriff.
2025 alone?
Just 2025, because I got a list here.
I'll go 19.
19 is a very conservative estimate based on the number of in-custody deaths in 2025. That number is in the 60s, I think. Let's see.
You know what, bro?
60-something.
Okay. When I throw the number 19 out there, I'm thinking the last time I was in the county jail and was there to stay, right? Now, in the LA County jail system, the climate is way different. Everybody is on dope, right? Like, they walking around like zombies, so it's way more people ODing and, you know what I'm saying? And the majority of the fatalities is going on in there in the LA County jail is from drug use. It ain't because nobody got stabbed or anything like that.
Yeah, correct. This list I have here is not numbered, so I just counted them. It's like over 50. So, for example, on January 10th of this year, someone died from heroin toxicity, 22-year-old. They don't even have their names. The second death was an accident, combined effects of methamphetamine. The third one's fentanyl. The fourth one is considered natural. The fifth one is methanol. Methamphetamine. Seventh is methamphetamine. 8, suicide. Ninth one is natural, accident, suicide. Dang, this guy, it says here, suicide by hanging. Suicide, another one by hanging. Homicide, okay. Suicide, natural, suicide, homicide. Wait, how do you die from
Somebody got busy on him.
No, but this one says gunshot wounds. Oh, this might have been you're in custody. Wait, ICU intensive care unit. I don't know. But these are all in custody deaths, and there are a few homicides. The one that we just reported right now is being investigated as a homicide. It's still under investigation. But yeah, you're right about the drugs, man. This is a methamphetamine, fentanyl. Dang, it's a lot. Diabetic. This one was natural. I'm surprised that there's like 4 hanging deaths on this one. But those can be suspect, huh? Or do you believe that people do commit suicide in the county jail?
They did it to themselves.
Yeah. Another one, suicide by asphyxia. I mean, I guess that's a hanging.
Asphyxia?
Asphyxia is like you're choked out.
Okay, strangulation.
Yeah, strangulation, but I don't know why they didn't just put hanging. I guess there's another way to choke yourself out other than hanging.
No, it sounds like somebody choked him out.
Oh, well, that would be a homicide. Oh, okay, well, they should put homicide here. Yeah, there could be. Yeah, they didn't put homicide. That might be a homicide. But this is an interesting list of all in custody deaths in 2025 in the LA County Jail.
Hey, man, when I say don't subscribe to the streets, subscribe to StreetTV, I mean it. Because I was like, when I entered the prison system and they had me sign a body receipt, I'm like, body receipt? What you need a receipt for my body for? I'm like, okay. I was like, for a minute, I shook it off, signed it. I'm like, damn. So you could go to jail and not come out.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Even on a probation violation, you know, you'll be doing, 6 months and getting something happen. You know what I'm saying? So subscribe to StreetTV and not the streets, man.
It seems like there's more squabbling in the county jail than in prison, but there's more stabbings in prison than the county jail.
Yeah, because it's more serious in the pen. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's more respectful. So if you're getting stabbed, it's a real reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's serious. Like, you either told, mess with some kids, or you need really just cross the line.
Or if you're tied up in the Latino politics, you just disrespected somebody.
Yeah,
yeah. But it could be something. It could be a minor disrespect.
Disrespect, like that. Man, it's way more respectful in the California prison system than it is on the streets. People say excuse me, and you know what I mean, and like, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You just not bumping into nobody and not saying you go hear Mexican, hey Spencer, you know what I'm saying, or like black, like excuse me, black, or excuse me, or whoever you bump into, like it ain't no respect out here.
All right, man. That'll wrap up this episode of Straight Politicking, episode 71. Let the people know where they can tap in with Munchie B.
Morals Over Money TV on YouTube. Everybody like, hype, and subscribe. And then Instagram, MB_the mayor. Everybody follow up. And that's about it, man.
I see you doing content, and you got a cool little background spot that you're doing your content at.
Yeah, more of a mayor's office type vibe. I'm in the chair, just, you know what I'm saying, monologuing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. StreetTV, available on all platforms. Apple, iHeart, and Spotify. If you're listening to us, leave us a comment and review. If you're watching us on mobile, hype the video. Mobile is another way to say you like the video. Hype is not available on the computer. I had people telling me hype the video. I watch most of my content on a computer, and I'm like, I do not see no hype button, but the hype button is on mobile devices only. Maybe they'll update that at some point in time. And we out.